What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. And today, my friends, it's special. We're talking finishing and something that has returned. And Mr. Air Japes would be so proud if you've been in the YouTube community a long time. That name should ring some bells. We have the Chip Life. It has been recertified, reintroduced. It is overpowered in FIFA 21. If you want more of this, drop a like. That's right, I said more. Like the video and comment below, what do you want a tutorial on ASAP? ASAP, 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 ASAP. Seriously, tell me what you want a tutorial on in the comments down below as soon as possible. I am working out a lot of different videos with tips and tutorials, and I do want to mention that there will be additional content that goes up on the FIFA School YouTube channel that is kind of review heavy and kind of raw with how we review the clips, how we break down the clips. That is linked down below. It is free to subscribe. It's a YouTube channel. If you want to get involved in the actual FIFA School, I encourage it. Back and forth interaction, engagement, tips, tricks, reviews, custom tactics, adjustments, and we'll give you some personalized insight regarding your squad, player comparison, how to get better at the game. And I said we because it's myself, George Adamu, both New York Red Bulls, current EMLS champion. But today we're talking Chip. That's right, I said Chip. Been the same for many years, but if you're brand new to FIFA, this is your first year, I have you covered. You found the right YouTube channel. Get your controller out. PlayStation, Xbox, it does not matter. But on the PlayStation, you're holding L1 while you're hitting your shooting command. On the Xbox, LB shooting command. Are we on the same page? Let's start the discussion. Serious business. I've got them editing or reviewing eyes, and I do want to start out. There are 3 different ways to score the Chip. 3 different instances. One is very obvious, and we're not going to talk about it in this example or in these examples or these clips. You got to break away. The goalkeeper's charging out at you. So much space in behind. You probably don't need a tutorial on how to finish that. You've got a lot of options. You can tell the keeper is way off his line, and there's space to work with for a variety of different types of finishes. A lot of people will go with the chip. Number 2 is this little dink of a chip. It's a love touch. I will make a separate video discussing the love touch chip, where you simply dink it over the goalkeeper. Doesn't have a lot of oomph, not a lot of extra power. But today's video, we're talking about the diagonal chip, which I appreciate for multiple reasons. One, because the goalkeeper can be on his line. You can still score this chip. You've got some fluctuation, you got some options, and we've got a few different examples that showcase how dominant and how this needs to be an option for you. I'm putting the headphones back on. I don't know why. You see yours truly. Counter attack. General impression from playing FIFA 21 as well. A lot of you have been asking me, what are your first impressions with FIFA 21? So far, I'm interested. I am enjoying the learning process. It is not the most realistic simulation-based football title we have seen. It's a lot more ping pong, very arcadey, which isn't always my favorite, but there's also a skill gap. You have to do a lot manually. I'm sure many of you want defending help or defensive techniques. And remember, you can watch all of this live. You want to see my complete gameplay, come to the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Mike LaBelle. Line it up. You see the break. I love this goal. It was crucial, massive, in behind. You see the keeper just touches off his line. How else would you score from this angle? Impossible. I might be a little fortunate in this foot draft match that the keeper got caught kind of in no man's land. I don't think my opposition knew exactly what he wanted to do, but that's just still a very fine angle. We're going to keep that diagonal. You can see the keeper's already backtracking. We've got a very small window, and this is why I talk about how effective and how prominent the chip can be. Why it needs to be in the locker. It needs to be in your holster, your backup weapon. Of course, we just want to talk about general finishing. You can beat it up across the body time and time again. But this isn't general finishing. We're getting into some of the extraordinary. And from this position, I have found inside the box on these diagonals, about half power. When you're filling up the chip, it's more about your positioning with the body, and then also take a quick glance at the goalkeeper. Is he standing on top of his line? Is he trying to cover against the near post? Is the goalkeeper positioning himself where he's coming out? As I was saying, look at this goalkeeper. He's backtracking. There's not a big window, but I know that this is possible in this year's installment. It hasn't been possible in previous installments. Can't stress that enough. Man, it's good looking stuff. It's good looking stuff. I want to run that back, I think. Full speed. Let me hit a rewind. Space. Here we are. And I will say this, a lot of force through balls connect, maybe at a higher rate than they should. All in one motion, Gorgeous. Everybody's happy in the live stream. Mike is happy. We support this. I just want to keep that on your mind as what you're looking for in order to set up the chip. But what's better than one example? Maybe 2 or 3. As you can see on screen, we are using a new function where you have the indicator over the player's head. You can manually move the player. I'm calling it off the ball. It deals with creative runs. If you want that video, please let me know, because I've scored quite a few goals like this. If anything, I would recommend playing some offline games or playing against your friends and then looking to get into maneuvering the player lock, which is L and R, both of the analogs. You got to click them together. We got space. Big Zapata. Similar position, a little more straightforward now. You can see that their space is available right here. This is where you want to put everything. And if you don't feel comfortable hitting across the body, in this case, I might have been able to sweat it as well. Might have missed an option. I didn't see it. And we're going to go with the diagonal chip. Very similar as before, about half power. Make sure you're aiming to that far post, which is going to be your bread and butter. When in doubt, far post, not near post this year. And I've scored a lot of near post goals, but over the course of looking for consistency and increasing your ability to be clinical, which we know how important that is in FIFA. It's not always about your possession play, your build up. It's taking the key moments, being clinical, having composure, and then also, of course, defense will always win championships. I'm not going to sit here and BS with you. We all know the relevance and the importance and the emphasis that has to be attached to defending. Push play. Look at that. Beauty. Goalkeeper just falls over. He's not even close. I think it's just a good example of how goalkeepers are struggling to react and struggling with chips in general. Unless we see a patch, I like showing things in full speed. Just look at the goalkeeper slide to the ground. He just falls over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. More of the same. And I like this example a lot because it once again showcases the goalkeeper, but he's on his line. If you do this properly, the goalkeeper cannot stop the chip. I want to stress that. If you execute properly, this works at a very high level of conversion. Through the roof. Don't believe me? Hold on. 1-2 heaven. A lot of space to work with. Goalkeeper is not off his line, but naturally covers the near post, which is why the far post has become the option. And now when you add the chip, little modifier action in there, put your finger down, touch it, have the feel for it, and you go diagonal. Nothing you could do about it. And this not only gives you a competitive advantage, but it looks good, it feels good, and your opponent's going to be upset. You're going to force rage quits. You have bragging rights over your friends. Look at the thing! When it's good, it's good. When it's great, it's great. Learn the chip, master the chip, appreciate the chip. If you want more examples, you let me know, because there are different scenarios and situations to really look into a little more depth with the chip this year, but one of them is so straightforward that I left it off. The other one, I'll gather those clips and put it together in a video by itself, but this, I believe, is the most necessary, needed. Put this into your lineup, your rotation, get your fingers associated with understanding and also internalizing and instinctively looking for this angle. Across the body, chip life has returned. Thank you, Air Japes, and I have a lot more content coming out for you ASAP.